This video is part of my Vet Nursing Assessment Unit ACM GAS 302, where we will look at the enrichment of animals. As part of the assessment, I was required to participate in practical demonstration where I must provide and document enrichment for 2 different animal species. On each occasion, the enrichment may be provided for a single animal or a group of animals of the same species. Demonstration 1. Observe animal behavior. For this demonstration, I observed the behavior of 2 different species of animals and documented my observation in their enrichment programs. For this demonstration, we must observe and record animal behavior for a minimum of 3 minutes and compare to normal behavioral patterns for the chosen species. Identify how enrichment will encourage natural behavior and document this on the enrichment program. Report abnormal behavior, sign of stress, or less than optimum well-being to the supervisor, and document any behaviors such as repetitive actions, exaggerated behaviors, non-purposeful behaviors. And first up we have Rosie. Rosie is a back-cross Labrador. She is 13 years old. I observed and recorded her behavior for at least 3 minutes and then compared this to normal dog behavior for her age group. She's quite normal to maybe a little bit underactive. As dogs age, they begin to slow down and need more rest more often. Rosie likes to think of herself as the matriarch of the family, and she always likes to watch what's going on. If anything, I did notice there was a little bit of stress because she finds it a bit difficult to relax, so I noted this down, and she does yawn a little bit. She also chases after people in the house, just to make sure that everyone is where she thinks they are. But majority of the time, you can almost guarantee that you'll find her sleeping somewhere. So what I have here is I have a few minutes of just me recording Rosie. She just sits from her bed, which has a good vantage point of the kitchen and the living room, and she just watches over the adults and the kids. She just looks around every now and then. Sorry for the wobbly camera, I was trying to get closer. And here her owner is coming over to pat her. She can... There you go. She's quite happy. She does stress out a little bit if there's too much noise and she barks. There's her yawn. So I noted all of this down. She has lots of little toys to keep her company. Here we have more footage of Rosie doing the rounds of the house. She likes to go into people's rooms and figures out where everyone's sitting. So she's gone into the parents' room and she likes to look around and sniff. She's quite old, so her mobility's a little bit slow. There she goes back into the parents' room, tail wagging, so she's happy. And then the rest of her day is spent sitting down somewhere in the sunshine and just sleeping the whole day. And then when someone gets home, she comes up to greet us. But she just slowly makes her way around the house. There's another yawn. She could feel a little bit of stress of feeling like it's her job to take care of everyone. So I wanted to note this down. Here she just stands and she's just watching. And she looks at me. There's her little tail wag and I give her a good pat. Our second observation will be of cats. We have Mac, Cheese, Fluff Daddy, Scar, and Hodor. I got permission to film them playing around the house from the owners, and I just recorded their behaviour. You can see that one was hiding under the stationary car, one has perched itself on a chair. That's a behaviour that they pick up so that they can observe and look over everything. It's a hierarchy thing. And here we have another cat who was hiding amongst the garden, just enjoying the sunshine and trying to get away from us. That's another normal behaviour. Here's another cat who was watching us. And up the back, this cat was watching us too, observing us because we're in his domain, his territory. And they're going to be quite inquisitive and curious about what we're doing in their area. And he's watching us. And once he realizes we're not a threat, he'll walk away and he'll continue about his day. He's grooming here. And I think he just ran inside there because the door opened. Here he's come because he's heard the owner shake the dry cat food, and he has run over to where they are normally fed. Here comes the other animals. So this is a learnt behaviour. And they know that when they hear the dry cat food being shaken, it's time for them to be fed. Here's some more videos of them. They're looking at us, they're always searching, trying to get a perception on their area, their territory, sniffing around, exploring, chewing at the grass. These are all completely normal cat behaviors, and if there was any abnormal behaviors, I would let the owner know. I'd also record them down in the enrichment program, and I would notify my supervisor. But throughout the day, the cats looked really happy. They have a huge garden to explore, which is really good. They were curious with their environment, and I didn't see any signs of stress or pain. And they can just let themselves inside the house if they want to go inside for a rest. So they've got a pretty good quality of life. Here's another one who was checking us out for a little bit, and he went back to the little garden for more sunshine and exploring. And here you can see he's adopting kind of a prowling behavior that you see in big cats, where they kind of stalk their prey. They keep their head down low. They've got the tail raised and they use slow movements. He could have seen maybe some kind of insect. I know that this cat really likes to collect skinks and lizards, and he's sniffing something out. Maybe he smelt something. So that's a normal foraging and hunting behavior. And off he goes. Here I took another video of, I believe this is Cheese, and he's going over to Hodor, who's underneath the car. That's his little spot. And they're giving each other a bit of space because cats can be very territorial, and I believe either Mac or Cheese, the orange one, and he was sniffing over a bush, but he's giving Hodor quite a bit of space. And Hodor's hunched over and he's got himself under a car, and he's being very territorial, and thankfully Mac and Cheese didn't go over there, so it didn't cause a fight. And now Mac and Cheese is going back over to his little spot on the chair. Here we have Scar, who's very, very friendly, and over there is either Mac or Cheese again, and they're in the garden. Scar's just looking over the garden. Here we have the cats, all of them gathering around the food. This is really good behavior that they're showing interest in eating and they're wanting to eat, which is good, because if they weren't eating, that would be the sign of a problem. And it's good, they notice that we're coming towards their food, but they're not acting overly scared. One's keeping lookout every now and then. Here we have Scar, who's a very, very friendly cat, and I was trying to catch him kneading his little bed. There's a few reasons why people believe cats do this. Some people think that they're looking for their mother's teat. Other people think it's a grooming process. Some people think it's a stress reliever, and some people think that they're looking for something. But here we go. We've got the behavior. It's quite normal, and it's really, really good in cats. It's good to see that he's doing normal behaviors in front of us. Demonstration to provide enrichment. For this demonstration, you must provide enrichment to your chosen animals, apply safe handling techniques that meet animal welfare requirements, complete a risk assessment of the enrichment, maintain change enrichment item as appropriate, and document this. We have Rosie's enrichment. Here, Rosie's owner has given her a dried pig ear, and she immediately takes it off to go eat it by herself in solidarity. This is a behavior in dogs and wolves. And look, she's very, very happy about it, and she's watching, and she's got the zoomies, and she's got her tail wagging. She's sniffing it and she's observing it. She comes over to say hi to me. She doesn't want to start eating it just yet. She sniffs it and she enjoys it, but she's got other things to do and she'll eat it later when she has time. I tried to be a passive observer. I just sat there and filmed her and watched and tried not to get too involved, so that it would be a fair observation. And she keeps sniffing it, and she's looking around, smelling the grass, and then she goes to go check on the mum who's in the laundry room. As the old dog, she thinks of herself as the matriarch, and she likes to check on all the people and all the children in the house. Then that's her job. Here we have Rosie again. She's come outside. She's given a good stretch. Oh. And we can see that she's displaying very happy behaviors, and she's rolling around in the grass, enjoying the sunshine. This is a really good behavior to see. And we used safe animal handling throughout and treated Rosie with caution and respect. She is an old dog, so we had to keep that in mind, and we had the owner's permission throughout the whole filming. A risk assessment form was completed in relation to Rosie and included in my assessment. The enrichment item for this scenario cannot be maintained as it is a one-time product, but it can be varied, and maybe for her next mealtime an enrichment item could be chicken necks or something different. It's important to offer a variety of enrichment items to keep Rosie engaged and improve her quality of life. But as we can see, she really did quite enjoy the pigs here, which is really good to see. Here she just kind of stands. She likes to stare at people and see what's going on, and then she moves. But she's always got the tail wagging. She's very happy. She's just a very old lady dog. She's taking on the dad again. Oh, and she's got the zoomies. And she's watching people again. Constantly monitoring. She's sniffing her pig's ear. Standing, guarding it. She's got her legs spread apart here. And the tail still. Oh, she's got her pig's ear again. She's watching. And now she's going to take her pig's ear up and only move it a feet or so. And she'll leave it again. And she'll know that there's no competition. She knows that there's no competition for her enrichment items, so that she feels fine leaving it outside. But later on, I did find that she had eventually brought the little pig's ear into her little area, and she displayed digging behavior and built a little. She made a little area for herself in her bed and began taking her time and gnawing at the pig's ear, really enjoying it, and that kept her busy for quite a while. And it was a good alternative because she can't do a lot of exercise because she's so old, so this enrichment item was a really good way to brighten her day. And now we have the cat's enrichment. So I tried a few things. Here I am. I'm picking up their bowls, and I started placing them. There's a few bowls in the house, so I placed a few of them around about, and I grabbed a handful and I just sprinkled them around the place. There's a lot of cats, so I knew that I'd cover a wide space. And it was really good to see, because immediately when I started putting the food down, it only took a couple seconds, and the cats just immediately went foraging for my food, the scattered food around. They really enjoyed it. I'll see this in other videos, but I scattered it along the ground. I hid it in pot plants, and then I also moved their bowls throughout the house, so it wasn't just in the same spot that it was every other day for them. Here I am putting one bowl on the table in the living room. Here I am scattering some more in a pot plant, just around the garden, so that when they're scoping and exploring about, they can find out treats. Because they're outside cats, they also do like to... Oh, here we go. Yeah, he immediately followed me and sensed that I was hiding food, and he immediately went looking for it, which is really good to see. I was really happy about that. But these guys are outside cats, and they love to bring in dead mice and other insects. So we already know that they're good at foraging. And here he was exposing his belly to us, which was great. And here we go. He immediately started foraging for food, which I was really excited to see. I did not know that they would take to it so quickly. We used safe animal handling throughout and treated all the cats with caution and respect. We also had the owner nearby who oversaw and supervised everything. A risk assessment was completed in relation to all of the cats, and maintenance of the enrichment item for the scenario is appropriate and gets documented. Each of the 5 food bowls that are scattered throughout the house should be cleared daily to get rid of any bacteria. Leftover food should be disposed of. Then the clean bowls should be placed in new places throughout the house. And the cat's looking out in the garden. This is just more like general cat behavior. It was all really normal, really good to see. It was good to see a large collection of cats all living outdoors because they showed really, really natural behaviors, and it was really good learning experience and observation experience. And here I go, scatter feeding some more. So I put some in that plant, which I know Scar really likes to sit in. The cats could hear that I was putting food around. And there's an interaction between the cats, and that was really nice and positive, which was really good. They just kind of brushed past each other. It wasn't aggressive. Yeah, putting more food around in little places for them to find. He's watching me going, what are you doing? And I was putting the 3rd bowl for the day outside. Fluff Daddy stays outside, so that was for him. Here's another bowl somewhere else in the living room. I placed that down. That's bowl number 4. And this is me getting more scatter food and placing it in areas that I know the cats can get to, and that it would be fun for them to go and explore. Demonstration 3, Review Enrichment Program. For this demonstration, I was required to review the enrichment program for the same 2 animals from Demonstration 1 and Demonstration 2, and then document this in the enrichment program. For this demonstration, you must identify and record animals' response to the enrichment item, consult with the supervisor on your observations, including animal interaction and with the enrichment item, and suggest and record improvements and modify the enrichment program where appropriate. So for Rosie loved the enrichment item and showed great enthusiasm. She eventually took it into her bed and chewed on it for a while. Once you have identified and recorded the animal's response, you should consult with your supervisor on any observations, any signs of pain, and record your findings once you have added the enrichment item into their lives. Any improvements or suggestions should be noted and then used to modify the enrichment program for a later date. And then with the cats really enjoyed the scatter feeding and immediately followed me around, watching me as I hide them throughout the garden, which shows their interest in foraging. Again, once you have identified and recorded the animal's response, you should consult with the supervisor on your observations, and then you can further make any improvements or suggestions and record this in their enrichment program. Thank you very much for watching, and special thanks to all these lovely people for helping me out.